The Bible says, "Fill your hungry soul with what's good." When we eat, we share, we grow. Every meal is a chance to be fed and to feed someone else. Life is like cooking. When it works, it doesn't matter if the process is fancy or simple. Good food and a life well lived comes down to how much heart you put in. Welcome back. This month, we're all about making sauces and condiments, and this time around, we're making lemon curd. If you've ever seen it in the grocery store, you know that it can be really expensive. So I'm gonna give you a fresher, cheaper alternative that you're gonna absolutely love. It has just a few ingredients and comes together in about 15-20 minutes. And this lemon curd keeps up to about a week in the refrigerator. You can use it on pancakes, you can use it on scones, you can just eat it straight if you want to. It's a really nice way to enhance any of your baked goods. So let's get started making this lemon curd. You want to start by separating your eggs because we're only going to be using the egg yolks. We're not going to waste these egg whites. You can keep them and use them for an egg white omelet. You can also keep them and use them for a meringue later on. So if you're thinking about something like making, cookies or something of that nature, or any kind of pie that has a meringue, that's really good. I will probably end up using this for an egg white omelet later on and just put a lot of spinach and mushrooms and onions in it and stuff like that. So don't throw your egg whites away. Keep them and use them. You can keep your egg whites in the fridge for about 2 or 3 days before you absolutely need to use them. Just keep them in an airtight container so that they don't get yucky. So once you have your eggs separated, you want to give them a little bit of a whisk. Then add a cup of sugar. So everybody knows about the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I really like that because it reminds us that we need to make something bigger or something better from the challenges that we've been given. But I think that there's a deeper meaning. People sometimes focus on problems, and the tendency is to go and talk about them with others. And that's okay because sometimes you can get support that way. But it can very quickly turn into complaining or competing or even trading for who has the bigger problem. Instead, I think we have an opportunity to stop complaining about the lemons that we've been given and look at the essence of what's inside. I think that complaining is kind of looking at the lemons from the outside, looking at the sour things that we have in our lives. But when we use what we've been given and kind of squeeze, pardon the pun, but when we squeeze to get to the inside of what's happening, we end up with an opportunity to use what we've been given and transform it into something awesome. Now we're gonna add our half a cup of lemon juice to the egg and sugar mixture. Now we're headed over to the stove and we're going to be putting it over a pot of a little bit of boiling water, about 1 or 2 inches, depending on how big your pot is. Because essentially we're making our own double boiler because we're gonna put this bowl right on top. We want to add 1 tablespoon of butter at a time and whisk it until it's all melted, and then continue to add the rest of the butter just like that. So now we want to pour the lemon curd through a fine meshed sieve, because sometimes you can get little bits of cooked egg, and we just want the final product to be ultra smooth and really, really silky. Now you'll want to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool for a couple of hours. I like to serve lemon curd on top of scones. And if you remember my cherry vanilla scones, you can go back and use that recipe, but just don't put the cherries in it. You can put this with blueberries. Like today, I've used the blueberry and done a blueberry scone, but you can use that basic recipe to make any kind that you want. But my favorite is blueberry with a little bit of lemon curd. Thanks for watching. You can find the full recipe in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.